I'd like to welcome Pak Sandiaga Uno. A warm applause for our Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy. Because the main topic for the morning session today, after the opening by Pagita and Ibu Shinta, is talking about the creative economy and tourism for two reasons. Because post-pandemic, we've seen that one of the strong emerging sectors that has come through with a strong potential for Indonesia specifically is the creative economy sector and tourism. And I think, Pa Sandy, you've done a wonderful job with how you have brought together the tourism sector post-pandemic. A big applause for that, Pa Sandy. Pa Sandy has consented to spend some time with us here. And thank you, Pagita and Pa Shinta, to stay as long as you're able to. Ibu Shinta and Pagita, yeah. Thank you for being able to stay as long as you're able to in this session. But I think Pa Sandy would like to share with us some of his thoughts and ideas related to how he sees the creative economy and the tourism sector progressing. And we would like to listen
Pagita.
from Pa Sandy.
Pagita
Yes.
has to catch a flight to Singapore.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pagita, for your time here. Yeah. So, Pa Sandy, before we start with your presentation, I believe you have a presentation?
A very short one, yes.
Okay. Before that, I'd like to first thank you for being our longest supporter for the Indonesia Economic Forum. I remember when we were in year 4, Pa Sandy came and told me, and he said, Sachin and Shoaib at that time, as were there, you come to year 4, and that's a big success. And Pa, today we are in year 10. So this is the 10th year of the Indonesia Economic Forum. You've been there as a speaker every year. Thank you very much. And without much further ado, over to Pa Sandy.
Thank you, Pak Sachin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to you all. And as in many life cycles, when you pass the 7th year, like when you're married to someone or you're in love with someone, the 7th year is the test of time. If you can pass the 7th year, you would go into the 14th year and then into the, hopefully, the next 7-year cycle. So congratulations to the Indonesia Economic Forum. And congratulations to Pak Sachin, Pak Umar, Ibu Shinta, and also a lot of very familiar faces here. Thank you very much. And we're in a very exciting times. This is the second day of the 75 days of campaign. And although election is coming up soon, we felt it's business as usual. So this is really good. I think business is hopefully continuing to invest. People who are here around the table have very confident and optimistic view about Indonesia, even election is around the corner. I'll be very brief to update you where tourism and creative economy sectors are. And I think to reiterate what Sachin said, it's the two sectors have emerged as now a new and renewable, not energy, but sources of growth, because it creates good quality jobs. It actually promoted the decent type of achievements in terms of SDGs. And so far, we have about close to 23 million of jobs created by the tourism sectors and the similar numbers on the creative economy side. So these two sectors combine 46 million quality jobs, and this number of foreign arrivals are out of date. How come it is on my deck? I don't even know. But this year we will close at 11 million foreign tourist arrival, breaking even our most optimistic estimates. And when I was running the private sectors, I give guidance to investors in terms of where they would see our financials by the end of the year. And if we have a robust year, I would do one upward revisions of our guidance, typically around mid part of the year. But this time I revised it upward twice because of the strong, robust comeback in the sectors, because I need to prep the industry to put more money because we see the tourism foreign exchange value have increased. Contributions to GDP is nearing 4% to the traditional numbers. And the movement of domestic tourists is close to 1 billion trips. So this is a remarkable number. But more remarkable number is on the creative economy side, because I mentioned about the number of jobs. It's close to 24 million. But the value added to our GDP is at close to 13 trillion rupiah, close to 8% of our GDP, which makes Indonesia's third largest in the world, third highest in the world after the US and South Korea in terms of contributions of creative economy to our GDP. So if the US have Hollywood, Korea have Korean dramas, we have horror movies. Very scary, our horror movies. So if US have jazz, Korea have K-pop, we have dangdut. Dangdut is now the music chosen to be the stretching session music for Korean volleyball professional league. So it's and the export number is close to 27 billion. We are very confident that this number will continue to improve, and within 5 to 10 years we will overtake Korea in terms of contributions of creative economy to the GDP. Why? Because of the next slide, because of the strength of digital economy. And digital economy have propelled the numbers of creative economy into the digitalizations and the number of startups. We are number 5 in the startup ecosystems. And I think this is going to be continuing to be the largest market in Southeast Asia, and also following India and China, we're going to be the third largest in Asia. So creative economy sectors has a unique potentials to contribute positively to sustainable economic growth, because the traditional sectors are culinary, fashion, and crafts are now being supplemented by games, music, film, animations, and my director in charge of music, film, and animation is here, Pa Amin. So his PhD is in music, and his thesis is music is politics. So when you want into politics here in Indonesia, you have to understand music. That's why I'm not so good in politics. Otherwise, I won't be here. I will be campaigning. But anyway, innovations, job creations, value additions, and environmental preservations would be this is actually, I think, not Taoism, but tourism. Maybe it's a tribute to our Japanese friends, Taoism. Well, some people make mistake, and this is millennials. They prepare the decks. So sorry for the typo. Why is the Taoism and creative economy is opportunity for new and renewable economy is this particular 4 pillars. And I think sustainable tourism is the only way to go. And we seeing the SDGs are being taken care by our investments in tourism and creative economy. We look at sustainable tourism management, sustainable social and economic environment, sustainable cultural continuity, and sustainable environmental sustainability. So this is all the 4 pillars. We call it the green tourism. Nothing to do with the color of my new party, but it's a way to go, green economy and green tourism. IP would be the next pillar, intellectual property. And we just launched Government Decree number 24 last year to allow financial institutions to use IP as collateral to advance credit. So we are moving higher in the global IP market, and we believe this is the next phase to add to our creative economic strength. Next is our collaborations with World Intellectual Property organizations. We believe that WIPO identified Indonesia because Indonesia's focus on strengthening our IP ecosystem. Next is achieving net zero. We are bold in saying that 2035 we will cut tourism carbon emissions by 50% and completely go net zero by 2060. So we are using village tourism, new and renewable energies, waste management, as well as carbon footprint calculator initiatives to push how we could plant more mangrove, mineral trees, restoring the coral reefs, in terms of how on a concrete basis we help cut this emissions of this part of our climate actions. Last but not least, we also have collaborations on digital space. Some of these are in the areas of artificial intelligence and also augmented reality and virtual reality. And we help Garuda because Garuda needs some help by bringing in foreign IPs also to inspire. So like Pokemon will start to be one of the official IP partners of Garuda, whereby we believe that this will bring not only more name recognitions for Garuda and Indonesia, wonderful Indonesia in the Japanese market, because Pokemon Go is still a $6 billion worth of IP that could be used to help more foreign tourist arrivals into Indonesia. So thank you very much for the time. I'm sorry I can only stay for another 15 minutes because I just got a call by my boss, Jokowi. So we'll hopefully be able to stay here until 9:45, where I need to have a hard stop and make my move to the palace.
Thank you, Pa Sandi. Big applause for Pa Sandi's presentation. We actually have here Pa Chandra Darusman, formerly from WIPO. Pa Chandra, may I invite you to come to the front?
Oh, we have a Indonesia legend, Ang Chandra, Wilujeng Enjing. Not only we have Gita Wiryawan, we also have Pa Chandra Darusman.
Yes.
This is from Sunda Empire.
Yes. Okay, so today morning actually we have a lot of stakeholders from the creative economy sector, and maybe I'd like to pose the first question to you, Pa. I think the program and the design is very important because now there is a framework of how we can all participate. But what's your views or your advice to the companies that are actually going to be implementing or participating in some of these programs? Because we have a starting point problem of human resources are not ready yet to be able to partake in the programs that have been outlined. So how do you see the role of the government in interfacing with the private sector and the public sector, academia, etc., in order to be able to provide enough people who can actually undertake and make these programs into a success?
Human capital is key, absolutely critical to get us to the next stage of this creative economy. And because IP is the foundations, and Pak Chandra is have been advising us on how we move forward. So we invest a lot of efforts and resources into making sure our human capital is well first in terms of moving up the ladder and understanding that IP would be key, including our micro, small, medium enterprises. So we're facilitating IP registrations for our creative economy players. We are also protecting their IPs, and I was told it's some staggering number of close to 14 trillion rupiah yearly have been lost because of piracies. This is movies. By the way, anybody all have watched Gadis Kretek? Raise your hand if you watch Gadis Kretek. Beautiful series. I just finished the fifth episodes. Hopefully more seasons to come. And we are now creating a tourist package. It's basically tour packages around the movies. So yeah, I think human capital would be number one, investments in human capital. Secondly is creating a robust institutions. So Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy is one facilitator, but then we have other ministries taking care of this. And we have the police to make sure that all violations are... one thing that Disney, this is told to me by Disney, that they have seen globally, Indonesia has emerged as the top country in terms of cracking down illegal sites. So they really give credits to us on that. But we need to do more because we need stronger institutions. And finally, I would say soft and hard infrastructures that enable us to provide ecosystem for the creative economy players. And I think Pak Chandra will be in a much better positions to elaborate how we could create a much better ecosystem. So we do work with WIPO, we do work with other organizations, including communities of creative economy players to make sure our IP continue to improve.
In fact, once you leave, we have a roundtables discussion, and we would be actually taking up each one of these topics one by one to see how we can all play a role in. Sandy, we just completed the Indo Fringe Festival. Yeah, for 10 days in November, we did a showcase. And the particular success story of Indo Fringe was the program that we ran in the schools. So we did a 30-day training program for 11 people in each school, who are all students, guided by a teacher. And we ran a collaborative learning and project-based learning exercise where the students would organize a festival. And they learned all different aspects of the festival, right? From production to videography to invitation to design to stage production, sound, light, etc. And you won't believe it, we had given them a target to involve 90 schools, but they actually brought together 382 schools. So this was a huge multiplier effect that we were able to find, and we found that maybe that's one way of getting the young people engaged in building SDM, or the human capital of the country. What's your view that should we be starting at an age of 15 and above so that people are able to take career decisions? Because you know what happens here? People move on. Everybody wants to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, professional. And a lot of people don't know that there are career choices in creative economy which are as good, if not better. So what's your view on how should we be helping our youth prioritize getting into the creative economy?
I was looking at the Indo-French matrix before I left this morning, and actually we almost double from the earlier estimates with 380 events. My advice would be start as sooner as possible, and some of these future artists actually could be discovered when they're at such young age. And we have ample talent pool when you're able to take a deep dive. And school would be a great, and I think Pak Nadim would agree, that the future of jobs is actually quite complex. It's not just one particular sectors for you know, I have a 23-year-old, my second daughter, who's completely uninterested to have just one job. She wants to have at least 2 jobs, better still 3 jobs. Well, I told her her education is so expensive, but her 3 jobs combined have not really been able to provide a nice salaries for her living in New York. So she went and, just like your sister, graduated from Parsons, and that's a really expensive school. But she enjoys now working in the creative space. Culinary, she works in musics, and this is the reality. I think the future of jobs needs to be agile. It's the gig economy, and they're more interested in 1 or 2 type of flexible jobs in their career. And this is something that we as government needs to appreciate this, acknowledge this, and create policies that would allow such flexibilities.
Thank you, Pa. Another topic I want to touch upon before you leave is digitalization. I think our president has also directed that digitalization in this sector would be very important because it's a force multiplier. We have here in our room the Cam Frost from Megatix. Could you put your hand up, Cam? And Megatix has built an app for Bali. And it is an app that completely brings together the entire ecosystem of Bali on one app. It's an example. If you can do that in Bali, same thing can be done across 90 cities of Indonesia. And that is a force multiplier for all the SME sector, and everybody is able to be represented on that app. So in your view, Pa, like this, what are the approaches that Common Paragraph is now doing towards digitalization?
We are onboarding close to now 25 million SMEs into digital ecosystem. Onboarding this through the various programs. And I think there's one certainty. There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one of the certainty would be that we are transforming our economy into digital. And I think we need more investments, in particular on 3 clusters for our creative economy. First is payment. I think we need to, and this is something that I continue to talk to Central Bank and OJK, is to allow more startups to focus on facilitating payments. Secondly is on cybersecurity. As we move into more and more data and digital platforms, we need more protections for our data and cybersecurity. I'm not seeing enough investments yet in cybersecurity. And third would be fintech. And this is something that the banking giants are really moving fast into this, but not fast enough, because based on our survey, there are still 46% of our micro, small, medium enterprises within the tourism and creative economy sectors have not been able to access the funding that they need. So this is, we believe, how we move forward into digitalizing the economy, not just the tourism and creative economy, but the large overall economy.
One last point, Pa. We have Pa Umar Hadi here today. He's from Kemlu, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. One of the reasons he's here is he's going to lead a discussion later on about the power of collaborating with other countries in the world. One of the tourism definitely is involved in that. We're looking at now how to involve them in creative economy side of it, in performing arts, fine arts, etc. 35 countries, ambassadors, we already started working with them. What are your views on how should we proceed with creating more global collaboration between the creative economy here and with, let's say, the countries which have influence? What's your view on a direction that probably can be taken in 2024?
Pa Umar would be a great resource because he has huge experience in how Korea built the ecosystems on creative economy. And I think we need to broaden our global outreach and discussions, not just with the two countries that I mentioned, the US and Korea, but also to the powerhouse of China and India. India have emerged as a very strong collaborator within the tourism and creative economy space. Within a short period of time, without any direct flights from India, India is now the second largest foreign tourist into Bali. Excellency, from 1st December, which is like in a couple of days, we're going to have Vistara and Indigo flying direct into Denpasar. So yes, Pa Umar have a tough job ahead of himself, but I think he's well equipped. I think the government across the ministries and agencies were very, very, now Pa Jokowi is spending more time globally. I think we are, he's making a lot of international trips, and I think this is making a huge, with our G20 presidency last year and ASEAN chairmanship this year, we have catapulted our positions globally, not just in tourism and creative economy, but a whole series of other engagements.
Thank you very much, Pa Sandy, and I think we've just run out of time. A big round of applause for Sandy to spend time here.